Warning. The following video contains strong language that some viewers may find offensive or disturbing.
What did your crush do that absolutely killed your interest? Stole from a homeless person. We were walking together downtown and she saw a bucket of coins in front of a pharmacy. She just scooped it all up and kept walking. Guy comes out as she's 20 feet away or so and yells at her. She keeps moving. I stood there and just gave him a $20 and didn't hang out with her anymore. We were 14 and 15. She asked me if I was good with kids because she was pregnant with her ex and that she's not good with kids. It was the first date. We were teenagers. He lived in a different province. And we used to chat on Skype. He wanted me to think he was a badass or something and would always talk about his drug use. He ended up faking a heroin overdose when we were on chat together. I was hysterically crying and freaking out thinking I was watching someone dying and was trying to figure out how to call 911 in another province when he snapped out of it and told me he was actually okay. I didn't talk to him much after that. Kept arranging times to talk and whatnot. Then always forgot or was not available. I've had the same thing happen to me. She would always text me and ask if I could chat at a certain time. Of course I would agree. Then when I called she would have her phone off or only answer 5% of the time. I really liked her too. So I was just like WTF. If you say you want to talk at so and so time. You know, answering the phone might help. I had this girl text me. Not me text her. 5 days in a row asking to hang out and stuff. I would say yes. Then ask what she wanted to do. I would never get a response. I don't understand how you can ask somebody to hang out and then just ghost them. And I only kept getting my hopes up because she had some B's excuse to go with it. She got blackout drunk at a party and violently shat her pants. The smell alone completely turned me off of any interest I had. His sister actually approached me and let me know that he was once arrested for locking their other pregnant sister in their basement. Went on a coke binge while she desperately tried to get out. And went outside to beat their unsuspecting neighbor's van with a golf club. That was a big ol' nope. Talked non-stop about himself and his accomplishments and never asked me one question about myself. Experienced this. But he would ask me questions about myself and after one line from me, would take over the conversation and somehow direct the spotlight from my answer back onto himself. Almost competitively. Went on a date with a guy similar to this lol. He loved himself and whenever he asked me a question he would take my reply and tell me why I was wrong for thinking it. And then tell me his right version. Told me that she didn't like me back anymore. But maybe if I waited long enough she would like me like that again. Huge crush on a fellow uni student. I was invited over for what I expected to be a platonic study date but hey. Any time spent is better than just being alone. Or so I thought. Got there and found another student from class also. Okay, study group, turns out her mom and her set us up for a full press MLM pitch. Video, literature, the works. I stayed a bit not to be rude. Excused myself shortly, and only talked to her in class just in passing from then on. Huge letdown. Edit, MLM means multi-level marketing. AKA a pyramid scheme. Signing up to both buy and sell something. While recruiting others to sell also. You get a % of all of your recruits' sales also. All the percentages basically flow upward. So the only way to make any significant money is to be high in the tree, towards the top of the pyramid. It's all bullshit, basically. I've been talking to a guy online for a while now. In the past few days. Our conversation has jumped from a dating app to texting to phone calls the last few nights. We were really hitting it off on the phone both nights. But he was drinking while talking to me and each night he got more repetitive and emotional as the conversation went on. The conversation then went off the rails and he seemed angry with me for some unknown reason and hung up. The first night it happened. I gave him the benefit of the doubt because we've all accidentally drank too much sometimes and acted a fool. But 2 nights in a row? Yeah. Any attraction I was developing is gone. I'm not interested in dating an abusive drunk. Bullied the quiet kid in our class. What a jerk. And it's such shame that she stooped to those levels cause she seemed like a sweet girl. The moment I saw her do that I lost it with her cause the quiet is genuinely a nice guy, still friends to this day due to our mutual love of anime and gaming. Dumped me after 9 months because she wasn't ready for a serious relationship. Got into a relationship the next day and was married within 5 months. Not ready for a serious relationship is just the roundabout way of saying, sorry. I'm not interested in you anymore. Edit. Okay, so somehow this comment blew the fuck up and I'm getting some valid criticism of how I stated this. I did not mean that this is the case all the time. Different relationships all have different dynamics and people sometimes realize they're in way too deep or life kicks you in the balls and you need to recover on your own time before dragging someone else down. Don't take this as gospel, it's just the ranting of a jaded soul. This was years ago. On a first date, tried to convince me to quit my job and put all my savings into gold bars, then demanded I let him read my tarot cards to see if we'd be a good fit. Nope. Told me he was only being nice to me because he was interested in a friend of mine. I see his Facebook posts now. He is dumber than a box of rocks on a treadmill. I'm not sure why the box of rocks on the treadmill is dumber than the box of rocks not on a treadmill. But I accept the metaphor. Told me he liked dating broken girls so he could fix them. See ya later. Boner. I had an ex tell me that. She said that she liked dating guys with issues to try and fix them. Meanwhile she had a ton of issues. Talked shit about every woman in his life. Should have seen the red flags earlier. Didn't realize until later that he probably did the same to me. Apparently having an opinion about anything and speaking for yourself isn't a very ladylike thing to do. He picked me up for our first date and his car was disgusting. Not talking a few trash items. The entire backseat and floorboard was completely covered in piled up trash. Even up front, I had to step on empty McDonald's bags. Old soda bottles, wrappers etc. to even get in. And all he said was, just move it around with your feet. No sorry or anything. Made me feel like trash too. Like dang, couldn't even clean up a little? Attempted to get through a horror movie together and he kept letting the movie run then rewinding the movie so that the horror never came. He pretended to be scared and would whine about the scare that was coming. I guess he thought this was a cute gesture. And would refuse to continue. It dragged a 5-minute scene into a 45 minutes production of his "oh no but I'm scared. No I don't want to." This is terrifying. This was a guy who told me that he loved horror movies. He was full of really weird contradictions. But this was the straw that broke the camel's back. Well, it turns out he wasn't interested in girls, so I knew I had to kill my feelings or feel stupid for keeping them. Said she was staring up a group for LGBT youth. I asked her why, and then realized I had been barking up the wrong tree. Told me I wasn't attractive and that she could never possibly like me. Game over. She asked if things didn't work out if I would mind if she went out with my roommate. I said I couldn't possibly do that to him and left. I'll kiss you but I'd never date you. FKU. I had a girl who wanted to move in with me and start a physical relationship. I might have been interested if she weren't moving so fast and if she hadn't already had a boyfriend at the time. The final nail in that already well-fastened coffin was when she said the sex would only be physical and that she wasn't looking for an emotional connection at all. I had been secretly in love with her for 5 years and that completely destroyed me. She invited me over to her place, not as a date thing, but just to hang out as friends. Her house was absolutely filthy and the glass of Coke she gave me had a hair in it. She was really cute, had a great personality, and was a genuinely nice person. But as soon as I saw cat shit on the floor near the front door and just dirty everything, my crush disappeared and I left in a hurry. We were going on a date and when we were just next to the cinema she found her friend and she went with her instead. My 18-year-old self thought it would be cute to invite him to a Christmas parade, but this dude had the audacity to ask me why I thought he would ever be interested in someone like me. Had a crush on this girl back in high school. She seemed like a sweet girl. After she rejected me, I let it go, but still was interested in maintaining some sort of friendship. Found out she was actually pretty toxic behind my back. She made fun of me for a lot of things that really didn't matter, like hand motions while talking, and I just lost interest in her entirely. Even in a friendship. Dude was the perfect epitome of the term douchebag. He used to be nice to people only to gain their trust and then betray them. He was attractive though, and a smooth talker as well. We started talking, became friends, and I developed a crush on him. Unfortunately, I never knew then what type of double-headed snake he was. Then on one day I witnessed him throwing his best friend under the bus just to save his reputation. Completely lost interest. Cut ties with him, and he gave no shit about it. Only then did I realize how toxic people can be sometimes. Edit, grammar. She detested cats and insisted that I give up my furry buddy before she'd move in with me. It wasn't that she was allergic to cats. She issued the ultimatum because, according to her, my cat received too much of my time and affection. And she wasn't going to compete. Single quote. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and hit the notification button. See you next time.